Green interwebs, it's Shaky and welcome for another edition of Game and Chill. Just to get this out of the way, in the editing process I accidentally lost the original footage, but I was so happy with the commentary that I didn't want to just redo everything from scratch. So, even though this was recorded as live commentary, it unfortunately won't be live commentary. But it shouldn't be too noticeable because I do plan to edit around what I have recorded to make it feel as natural as possible. To the point that if I didn't say anything, you probably wouldn't even notice that it wasn't live commentary. I just want to get that out there in case anyone does notice, that would be why. As for video plans itself, I feel like the safe answer is the video plans for October will be that there are no video plans. It's unfortunate, but I kind of just at a loss of what to do, and I've mentioned it before, but in case you're new, if you can tell from how weirdly and frequently I stream, it's hard for me to actually get in the mindset to record. So the only way that I'm actually able to do so much video recording so frequently, or have video so frequently, is backlog. And with the stuff that is going on the past couple months, that backlog has kind of duplicated itself. There's the whole Pikmin 4 review, which by the way, I've completed that in between the last and this Game and Chill. You should check it out. This would be a good time to use video cards if I remember the feature existed. So as I was saying, between the Pikmin review and my next major Golden Sun project, I haven't had time to keep the backlog up, let alone get ahead on it. So the last of my video backlog is getting used up in the first week of October, and as of recording this like a week before, I have no idea what I'm going to do with uploads after that. It's a real shame because October in particular, I really want to take advantage of and have, like, be a celebration of my birthday month by doing something real fun, like videos of maybe my favorite game or something. But I guess in a sense I've already been doing that with the various Golden Sun playthroughs and Pokemon XG that I've taken up over the course of this year. It feels actually, I am starting the Lost Age randomizer. I edited the first two videos of that, so those will be going up the first week of October. Ironically enough though, like, if you were asking me 10 years ago, that would have been a perfect thing to just keep up with that for October, but I don't really know if Lost Age is one of my favorite games anymore. It's been so long since I've done a full playthrough, and I'm kind of intimidated by how open-ended it gets in the second half of it, and just how huge it is. Like, I've kind of preferred Golden Sun 1. There might be some bias with all the work on it, with things like Dawn of Jin and that, but even though, like, mechanically, like, Lost Age has everything Golden Sun 1 has and more, that extra time it takes to beat it, and just how much more easy it is to get lost in it, kind of made it drop in points over the years. I'm sure it's still fine. If nothing else, the Lost Age randomizer will force me to decide if it's still as good for me or not. Like, I would still argue that's a good game, and mechanically wise in of itself be the better of the two, but it'll take some time to actually see if it's still my favorite of the two or not, because right now it is leaning towards the first game just because it's so much easier to play with how much shorter it is. Like, sure, just, and it also helps that, like, a lot of the flaws of Golden Sun 1 are all tied to things that aren't really relevant to me because I've already played Lost Age, so I already know how the song and dance goes. Also, like, mods to skip the prologue and speed my way through the dialogue if needed have also helped, but the dialogue in and of itself is was just as much of a problem. I wouldn't say it's a issue, but I would say it's just as much of a problem in the sequel as it is the first game. The main thing Lost Age has over Golden Sun 1 is the fact that the prologue goes on for so much longer, and like it takes so much longer. By which I define, I feel like I said this before, but just in case I have said it on Game Chill, Golden Sun doesn't really feel like it is any different from an RPG until you get your first gen. So I tend to think of a Golden Sun game not truly starting until you're introduced to your first Ginny. Ironically enough, that might make Dark Dawn the best of the three, if only because the tutorial area actually like lets you play around with gens, even if you're only borrowing them at the time. That feels like a controversial thing to say, though. Someday, do something with Dark Dawn, play through it, talk about it. It's an idea that keeps coming back in my head all the time, but it just never gets priority in everything else I want to do in life. But I swear, as long as I live long enough, it will happen someday. Wouldn't it be funny if I just started a Dark Dawn livestream? I think like half the reason that make it so hard to actually do a Dark Dawn playthrough is figuring out how the heck to actually make the game challenging, because it's infamously the easiest of the three. So it feels like I need a little self-imposed challenge to make at least make the first half of the game fun. Problem is though, like, I don't want to make... The problem with challenge runs is finding a blend between something, restricting yourself in a way that makes it more challenging, but also not limiting too many of the mechanics, because, like, as I say, with Golden Sun, the biggest thing that keeps it from just being yet another RPG is the gym mechanics, or the mechanics in the game itself. So if you restrict yourself from using too many of the elements of the game, then what's the fun of playing Golden Sun if you can't play with those mechanics? So there's the whole conflict of how do I restrict myself with Dark Dawn without just not making the game fun for me anymore by limiting myself too much. So weird middle ground like that. Also, wow, that was a tangent. Didn't even talk about videos. I was supposed to be talking about my video schedule, wasn't I? I don't even remember where I left off. The long story short is, I want to do something for the month, but I have nothing lined up for the month, so it feels very unlikely that I will do anything after the first week of this month. There is one thing that might still work. I have been considering for the past month doing like a short series where I finally talk about Overseer of the Elements. Yeah, but even that's going to take a little bit of work, and I'm not sure if I'm going to have the time to do it. And to make something in time. To lighten the mood a little bit, there is good news. Like, again, I did make some things. That time wasn't completely in vain, because I did make that Pikmin 4 review. So, do I gotta do anything to you? No, you're already master. It's your evolved form. I still gotta do some things with. I don't know if I have X on Mr. Abyss, but now's a good time as any to find out. Nope. So yeah, with Golden Sun Project, the bad news is I've been taking a bit of a hiatus with Dawn of Jin. Oh, that's right, you're part dark. You're dark and poison, or at least you're part dark. The good news is what I've been working on instead. So, in the Golden Sun hacking Discord, yes, that exists. The community tried to put on a game jam. I say try because, like, I think only 3 people entered and no one finished in time, and so the jam kind of just dissolved, and I think the people are just working on their projects on their own time. Technically, I did finish something, but I'm glad I didn't, like, I'm glad it didn't actually officially go anywhere, because wow did I rush it. Like, if you thought Sweet Expedition was bad to be rushed, well, it wasn't Sweet Expedition Game Jam release bad. But when I actually playtested and like shared it on the Discord, I started the signs of it being a rushed mod started to show. There was soft blocks everywhere, and point being, I fixed all of that, and definitely by the time you see this video, there's a release of it out online, like at least on GitHub. I'm not sure if it'll be on the other platforms yet. It depends on how quickly I get this video out. So why don't I just talk about it? It's a Golden Sun Challenge Pack, currently only of the first game. I do technically... Well, let me finish explaining what it is. It's technically not one mod, but several mods in one package to allow you to make your own custom Golden Sun challenge. There's I'll have more detail on it in the I almost didn't say GitHub. In the GitHub for the page. But some samples of types of challenges you can do are a water elemental only run, a fire elemental only run, having no summons, or not have the ability to use any summons. And that's basically it. But I feel like that's still a lot because the fire and water ones are custom made to have like their own synergies, like nothing too crazy. A lot of them are just like other spells with different names and different animations, but I think it's still enough to make a fun play, make its own playthrough if you want like just any old good excuse to revisit Golden Sun. I think the most interesting part is that some of them can be combined. Like, you obviously can't combine a fire and a water challenge run, but you could do a water only no summon run. I've done a little bit of playtesting to get... I mostly just playtest to make sure there's no soft locks, but I did not playtest all of them full to completion like I do with bigger projects like Dawn of Jin. So, I have no idea how challenging some of these are, but I can imagine things just like taking away summons. I can imagine that alone, like, being quite tricky. But it also, like, adds a little flair to the whole challenge. So yeah, like, if you're following me for my Golden Sun content, that's definitely something worth checking out. A playthrough of just one of those challenge modes will definitely keep you busy during the release of Dawn of Jin. I wasn't expecting for it to take this long to release, but I'll admit I kind of hit a slump with Dawn of Jin when I got to Kailai Docks, because there's going to be a full edit of things, like the dialogue in the game is going to be completely changed because, well, a certain NPC that you will probably already be familiar with if you played the demo is making probably their most major appearance in that particular section. And on top of like adjusting all the dialogue for that, there's a few visual bugs that I still have to figure out how to fix, and I'm honestly not sure if I will be able to fix. Like, nothing game breaking obviously, but it would obviously make the mod better if I could fix those things and get them all sorted out. So that in itself is great. And I've been hesitant to talk about it because I feel like I'll jinx something if I do. But technically I've been working on Sweet Expedition again. The issue with talking about Sweet Expedition is that I kind of just want to be done with it and move on to focusing on Golden Sun stuff. So honestly, like, it's been months since I seriously worked on it. There's been like times I would like work on it for a couple hours for a day and then like completely ignore it for several months at a time to focus more on Golden Sun and video stuff. That's the major reason why I haven't talked about and just let it go on radio silence for so long. It's technically being worked on, but it's better for people's expectations not get high by pretending that it's dead. Like, I'll talk about it now because it's probably the most I've worked on it in the most day. Like, this is probably the most I've worked on it in several months. This is probably the most I've worked on it since releasing it, or like since the last update I made on the Discord several months ago. And the big thing is I don't want people to get too excited about it. I've given up on a lot of the more ambitious stuff, and for the most part it's going to be just the area you've already seen the game jam, but better. Like, the stuff that video series of work in progress stuff is still stands. I may have added 1 or 2 moves along the way to make things spicy, but the maps themselves aren't going to be any different. I have to... not to say there won't be any surprises, but it's going to be Paper Mario Mining has come a long way, and my project is definitely not going to show when it comes to all the progress that's been made in the mining community. It's mostly just like, I had this thing from back when I was real ambitious about it, still sitting around. I don't want to give up on it completely, so I'm gonna just try to work on it here and there to polish it up enough to release, and probably be done with Paper Mario modding forever, or at least until I've exhausted all my options in Golden Sun. And honestly, I'm hoping by then I'll be confident enough with programming to just make my own game. Because that's what I really want to do. I think I've even said, like, half the reason I got into buying in the first place was that I feel like I tried every avenue to get into gaming design itself, and just reworking Golden Sun was the closest thing I could ever get to making my dream game. You know, when I say it like that, it comes off rather depressing, but I'm not as sad about it as it sounds. It's been actually a pretty good day for me. Am I done talking about my project so I can actually go on about everything else I've done today? I can't really recall. But yeah, like, now that the Pikmin 4 review and the game jam project are done, the next major things on my mind are figuring out what the heck to do with videos, trying to finish up Sweet Expedition, even if it's not... My goal is to get it done by the end of the year, and if I don't, just release whatever I have anyways. Even if I still want to do a little bit more with it after I finish and release it, I want to at least get it out by the end of the year, at the very least the start of the new year. That's not official, that's why I haven't said anything, but internally, that's been the goal for a while now. So yeah. All that, and resuming work on Dungeon. Those are where my priorities are. I do say on the page for the challenge pack that there are plans to add more to the challenge pack, like a mono wind run and a mono earth run. But I've been off from Dungeon for so long, I probably need to dust off that work and get back to it. I'm more than halfway through, but it really doesn't feel with it like it, considering how much longer version 2 is taking compared to version 1. It's slightly unfair because I was a lot more focused when making version 1, like that was the only thing I was doing outside the videos. But the longer it takes, the more worried I get about people's expectations getting too high. It's the same problem with Sweet Expedition. All that said, if I'm forgetting about anything, that's future Jackie K's problem. We're about a half an hour, but I think I'm going to make this recording session a little shorter than a normal gaming show, because I feel confident in how much I've been commentating. I don't think there's actually going to be nearly as many cuts in this Game & Chill recording compared to the average Game & Chill recording. So I talk about my day, and feel like it's gonna be much about the same length, if not longer, than a normal game show, just from that alone. Part flying, why haven't you gone down to Ice Charge yet? So, it's been actually a pretty fun weekend, probably the most fun I've had a weekend in general, like, which is weird because you wouldn't think it that way, with the start of the day being start of preparing for winter. Like in our household, we try to save energy on our heating bills with a stovetop fireplace. But to run a fireplace, you need, well, fire. Which wasn't take care of. But there's plenty of wood around to actually get the fire going, but you just have to prepare it, including like cutting it, splitting it, and I help out a lot with the ladder. And this weekend was the start of the wood splitting, and we didn't even get to do that much because it took forever and a half to actually set up the splitter, because it was not ready to work when it should have been. Despite all of that, I ended up the activity in a positive mood, and while I was a little late for community days because I just needed a little time to relax before heading back out again, I had a pretty nice time out for a community day for once. I think it helped that it was Grubbin Community Day. Grubbin was always such a neat shiny that I was interested in trying to get as many as I can to try to get the best one possible. It was also Community Day that I realized that I've never actually seen a shiny Victable before, and oh my god, that shiny is beautiful. I'm kinda sad that I couldn't evolve more of them because I ran my phone for so long before putting it in my phone battery that it just died right at the end of Community Day, even on the charger, even though there's still so much going on with the charger. So yeah, that was a pretty fun Community Day, and there's stuff going on, and while I wasn't interested in it, it did allow me to get an easy Mega Gardevoir raid, which was great because I was only able to do one and didn't have enough Mega Energy to do that evolution. And just from that one raid that I did that weekend alone, that alone gave me the Mega Energy to do the evolution. Of course, in hindsight, I feel like a fool because in hindsight I learned/realized that this event in Pokemon Go was already giving away the Mega Energy I needed, but it was still really cool to see myself get all that energy from just one raid. Especially because that was a Pokemon that I was trying to get for a long time. So yeah, Grubbin Community Day was great. You know it's a good community day when it actually bothers to stay out for the whole 3 hours. And then some. Like, that's just something I don't really do with Pokemon Go community days anymore. Community day certainly was something, and today wasn't half bad either. Like, so many good things today that, like, the only thing that went wrong was they didn't have the new Pokemon cards that I was looking for when I went to the general, not Walmart, to get it. Which isn't the end of the world because I just get it from online, but like everything else that happened was so neat that I don't feel like I really have too much room to complain. For one, like, got breakfast beforehand, which is nice. And just on a whim, I think I only even considered going in there because the neighboring store was on clearance, like they're closing now. So I thought maybe this general store will have Pokemon cards. Not realizing that it wasn't a dollar store, but just like a party store. But ironically enough, I found something pretty fun. Like, I definitely didn't need it. It's just gonna be extra clutter in my room, which is unfortunate, but I'll try to force myself to edit in pictures of the stuff, and you'll see why I was so interested in picking it up. Like, one was a Flareon figurine, and it's like, I don't normally go on my way to get Pokemon merch, but it's like, this $10 Flareon figurine, just randomly in a party store, on clearance, on top of that. Who else was gonna give Flareon a home? Definitely none of you guys. You all hate Flareon from what I've seen on the internet. Feel like I'm the only one that likes Flareon. So of course I didn't get the Flareon a home. And I was kind of content with just getting that, and on the way out though I saw like a blind bag of Kirby figurines, and was like, oh, I have a little section in my room that's just random Kirby figurines. One more is not gonna hurt. I really try to convince myself to get one or the other, but it's like, what the heck else am I doing with my paycheck? It's not even... this is even cheaper than the Flareon. Why not just get both? So here I am, the proud owner of a random Kirby blind bag and a Flareon figurine. Not sure what I'm gonna do with them, but I'm happy I got them. So I did at least get the cards that I was... Open up one of the cards that I already had sitting around. I feel like it's a pretty good haul. Like, not that impressive financially, but the cards I got from it were pretty neat. That's the thing about Astral Radiance, why I target that one, because like, I love this region. It's like the only reason I care about Pokemon anymore. So like, it's the one pack where I not only care about the Pokemon I get from it, but also the trainer cards, because a lot of them are based on NPCs from this game. So it's like the main reason why I still bother with it. And it makes me kind of sad, because there's... all that was well and dandy, but then I decided to go for a walk. I wasn't going to go to that area twice in a row, but it was the closest place by I could think of to walk, and like, after not getting the Pokemon cards I wanted to get something out of my outing. And I'm glad I decided to walk, because not only was it a great walk, got some raids done for that stupid Master Ball quest, but I think for the first time in a long time, I got double shiny luck outside of a community day. One of them I'm pretty sure is full odds. Like, one of them was just a random Baneri, not even part of the psychic event that's going on. The cutest part, great, now I'm gonna have to edit in the picture, because the picture I took was real cute. It was right next to a batch of flowers that matched it perfectly. Then, like, the last raid that I did before heading back was of a Lone Raichu, and I finally got the chocolate Raichu. And I was one that's keeping my eyes on for a while, but it's been a while since I did raids, because, like, haven't been as incentivized to do stuff in Pokemon Go like I used to. It's like, I probably wouldn't even be bothering with the raids if there wasn't a Master Ball quest tied behind it. Which sucks, but I'm still not putting money in the game. I haven't put money in the game for, safe to say, 2 years at this point. And that's good enough for me. So the outing was good. Even got some grocery shopping done. Felt like I wasted a bit of the afternoon, because I was just gonna sit down and... Well, for one, it was already past the early afternoon by the time I got back. Did squeeze in the grocery trip that I was gonna make later on, so that's fine. Like, it was already a long time out, but then I kinda got distracted by a stream. Like, it wasn't a complete waste of time, because I was finishing up the Golden Sun project I was talking about earlier in it, but I can't help but feel like I spent more time with the stream than I did working on the project. And I definitely wasn't expecting to spend 3 hours on it all. Things happen, I suppose. And I had like a nice stream, even though it wasn't like anything I needed to get done. I've been itching to try out F-Zero 99 on the stream, and I finally did. Like, it wasn't, I wouldn't call it a blind first impression, because I did do it on my own time. But even so, I was still really wanting to do it on a stream for some reason, and I finally got around to doing it on a stream. And that takes us to now, where I had a lot of good commentary momentum coming from that stream, so... And it was a bit short of a stream anyways, because F-099 is not something I could see myself doing for 2 hours straight. I decided to try to take that stream memento, or the momentum, and get this game show recorded now. I guess that's it, but I don't want to end off, even though, wow, we're already at 40-minute recording, and that would make for a good time to end off a game and chill. Even so, I don't want to end this off because we only just started taking care of the show's mass outbreak. I'd like to at least finish that. I'm not really sure what else to talk about because I went through all the motions of my day this weekend. The only thing I can even think of to add is the best part about it all is that the weekend's not over yet because I got a little extra, got some time off. I'm not sure if this is going to be enough time to actually buy me the time needed to figure out what I'm going to do for October. But if nothing else, I'll be able to get to enjoy myself a little. Could we get a shiny? Probably not, because I just got a shiny last time I played the game. Yeah. And that's the thing, it was a pretty good shiny. Despite having the entire Shinx line, all the Pokédex research for that maxed out for what feels like months, despite having a shiny charm, I could never get a shiny Shinx. And yet I think it was as soon as last night, I did all these mass outbreaks, and as I was going from one mass outbreak to another during a massive mass outbreak, I found a random shiny Luxio. Maybe I'll just overplay a clip of it real quick. So yeah, I'm still hunting for some of the shiny Hisuian Pokemon, but that's a white whale finally out of my hands. And with that, we have definitely gone long enough to have a Game and Chill proper. So, thank you all for tuning in for this edition of Game and Chill. And yeah, wish me luck in October, because for various reasons, it's a month that has the best opportunity to go the best, but also there's some ways that it could go wrong, and I'm just real worried about what the heck I'm gonna do online project-wise for the month. At least I'm feeling pretty good today about it all. Until then though, take care.